You're watching Camnet News. Thank you so much for choosing us. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. The top stories on our desk this evening. The Drug Enforcement Commission pounces on Patriotic Front self-proclaimed National Commander Innocent Kalimanshi. CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI leaves presidential ambitions in God's hands. Patriotic Front, United Party for National Development, cosmetic approach to peace, annoys Police Chief KAKOMA KANGANJA. In international news, Sierra Leone Parliament approves bill to ban death penalty. And in sports news, Copper Queens secure 1 point in the ongoing Olympic Games. Join me shortly for the details.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Once again, thank you for choosing us. The Patriotic Front presidential running mate, Professor Nkanduluo, has urged citizens to pray to God before casting their vote on the 12th of August general elections. Professor Luo, who spoke through Patriotic Front Lusaka Central aspiring candidate Margaret Mwanakatwe at the fundraising breakfast by the Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation National Committee Saturday morning, says there is need for the country to continue believing in God so that it can remain prosperous, and advocates for Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation chairperson Bishop Billy Mfula says Zambia needs to be taken forward and not backwards, hence the need for each and every individual to seek God. Details in this report.
Zambia will soon be clocking 30 years of being a Christian nation after its declaration in 1991 by the country's second Republican president, Dr. Frederick Chiluba. Every year, on the 29th of December, the Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation Committee, in partnership with the Ministry of Guidance and Religious Affairs, holds a commemoration service to reflect on this declaration. And in view of this incoming event, the committee held a fundraising breakfast prayer Saturday morning that was attended by former Minister of Religious Affairs Godfrey Sumaili and Patriotic Front Lusaka Central aspiring candidate Margaret Mwanakatwe, among others. And speaking during the event on behalf of the guest of honor, President Lungu's running mate Kanduluo, Ms. Mwanakatwe urged citizens to take Christianity to heart.
And we've got to take this Zambia as a Christian nation seriously. For me, that's what this symbol is. I'm representing the running mate who was supposed to represent him, because both are aware the running mate is on the copper belt. So for me, it's really the importance of taking Christianity to the heart of what we do as a nation. First of all, as a family, and then as a country. What we mean by Christianity. This, to me, with the whole pastor body coming together to raise funds for the 29th of December 2021 is really just so important a symbol that we've all got to rally behind them and support them in raising funds.
Ms. Mwanakatwe also advised her fellow politicians.
And I really want to stress to my other aspiring candidates that really let us just ensure that this election it goes by peacefully. There's less than 20 days, as you said. Let's just campaign freely. The best person will win. Somebody is going to win, and that person is going to be me.
An advocate for the Declaration of Zambia as a Christian Nation chairperson, Bishop Billy Mfula, says Zambia needs to be taken forward and not backward, hence the need for each and every individual to seek God.
That's why even the elections this year, yes, they are more spiritual than physical.
That's right.
Before you go to the ballot, go to the altar and hear God. Amen. We don't want to be taken 30 years backwards, but 30 years forward. Zambia must remain a Christian nation, a nation under God. This is why the 29th of December this year shall be a huge ceremony.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
A senior citizen who is also a clergyman, Reverend Nelson Muhango, has appealed to political party leaders to tempt their cadres from getting involved in political violence. Reverend Muhango says despite the political parties signing the peace accord pledging to stop political violence before, during and after the elections, the country has still continued to witness violence. However, Reverend Muhango has also advised the youths, who are mostly used as tools of violence, never to allow politicians to use them for political title benefits, as youths are leaders of tomorrow.
Who are doing these things? They know them. The police, they know them. But they're failing to handle them. They're failing to catch them. They're failing to arrest them. Most of these chaps who are doing this nonsense, brutality, they are foreigners. We call them prohibited immigrants. They are there. But God is watching. So my appeal to our politicians, icho byala echo kasombora iwete chikukonke ero chikakonka imbuto shore abana bobe shobyala. Galatians chapter 6 verse 7 8 chobyala.
A human rights activist and reggae artist, Maiko Zulu, has dispelled claims by the Patriotic Front suggesting that the local authorities in the country are happy with the infiltration of political cadres in markets and bus stations. Recently, when he appeared on the Verdict program, PF National Mobilization Committee member Bizwa Mutale said the councils are happy to share the resources with cadres. But Mr. Zulu says the performance of councils in the country has been disastrous due to their inability to respond to several challenges such as waste management. He says owing to the fact that cadres are busy collecting money in public facilities, local authorities have been struggling to pay salaries. He says cadres continue to infiltrate on people's rights, wondering what could be exciting about that.
The politicization of public facilities is something that continues to agitate citizens and can be cited among factors that contributed to the downfall of the mighty movement for multi-party democracy, MMD, to pave the way to the current governing party, the Patriotic Front, in the year 2011. The Markets and Bus Stations Act has no provision for political cadres, but at the moment they dominate these public facilities, thus undermining the council's ability to raise revenue. Surprisingly, PF Mobilization member Bizwa Mutale says cadres and local authorities are coexisting.
As Zambians. Number two, the municipalities, they are correcting their resource. If I want to say the municipalities don't have the capacity to meet what the cadres are doing, the cadres are paying to the municipalities. They are paying to the municipalities. But again, maybe we must say they've got a share in what they're correcting. When the cadre corrects, they say 20 kwacha today, they will pass maybe 15 kwacha to the 12 kwacha, whatever, to the municipality. The remaining, there is also management need to be compensated. It came way back. Don't condemn them now. If the council is failing to meet that and maybe collect the revenue and so on, let the council deal with. Council has not come out and complain to say we're not collecting the revenue. Council has not come out. So not point a finger to the council. The council is comfortable. And the council is collecting their revenue. Until council can come out and say we are not collecting the money because this.
But reggae artist and human rights activist Maiko Zulu does not agree with that position.
Councils being happy with the status quo, yet council workers go for months without pay. What is that? That is politicking. You know? That is politicking. You know? Councils being happy when the entire city is a garbage city. And you say councils are happy. You know, then they must be revoked, you know, they must be removed from employment so that people who understand what makes a council happy should take their place. You know, councils are not happy. You know, let's not put words in council's mouth. mouths.
Speaking when he featured on the verdict, Mr. Zulu feels local authorities are underperforming.
Councils today are a disaster, my brother. I'm telling you this because I come from an era where a dustbin was always being dropped by Lusaka City Council. A dustbin, an aluminium dustbin, written LCC, you know. It was on every home, you know. I grew up in Kabwata there. The people that grew up in Kabwata can tell you, you know, the council used to come and collect garbage. You know, all our parents were paying was rentals.
It is important that markets and bus stations are depoliticized so that people live in harmony. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
The opposition movement for national transformation, MNT, has reminded traditional leaders to remain neutral when it comes to politics. MNT party president Daniel Shumunza says a vote is a secret and traditional leaders should not take sides in efforts to influence electorates.
In a constitutional democracy, there is no one who is above the law. The Constitution of the Republic is the organic law and mother of all laws in the country. The Public Order Act applies to every citizen, and the president is elected from among citizens. And in a democracy, what you require is fairness in the electoral process. What President Lungu did is unacceptable. To go to Mtendere and have a roadshow and the public exposed to COVID-19, that is not the way to implement in an election the Public Order Act. And this is where, as opposition political parties, this is where we have said that the police must remain professional. It is sad to hear that the police can give such a position that the president is not accountable to the laws that apply to the Public Order Act and the running mate. What does that give now to the whole electoral process? It means that which other law or which other laws are they going to say they don't subscribe to? It is an unfortunate statement to make, and we condemn it as Movement for National Transformation in the strongest sense.
I apologize for that disturbance in audio. We continue with the news. The Civil Society Constitution Agenda CHIEF-KAKOMA has warned that if voter education is not enhanced ahead of the 12th August general elections, the country may witness a high number of rejected ballots. According to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the country had in the previous general elections recorded 85,795 rejected ballots. CHIEF-KAKOMA chairperson Judith Mulenga has noted that there are a number of issues that need to be addressed so that every eligible voter is able to make the ballot papers correctly. Meanwhile, Ms. Mulenga observes that the majority of citizens are ready to vote, but political violence may distract them. Details in this report.
The Civil Society Constitution Agenda CHIEF-KAKOMA has noted the need to enhance voter awareness ahead of the August 12 election. In the 2016 general election, out of the total 6,698,372 registered voters, the valid vote cast was 3,781,505. However, 85,795 votes were rejected, and if every vote counts, then this figure must be reduced, and that can only be through awareness creation, which CHIEF-KAKOMA chairperson Judith Mulenga says they want to complement the electoral body with.
We have been there engaging with the people, but we are targeting more the youth because many of them will be first-time voters. We are also targeting persons with disabilities and the women. And the questions they are asking, it's like most of them have no idea even what a ballot looks like. As I'm talking to you now, we are preparing to travel back to these places starting tomorrow. And we are having to make up some ballot papers, you know, where we just want to demonstrate to them what really happens when they get into a polling station.
She notes that there are some issues that need clarity, especially on marking a ballot paper.
A lot of us, we know that how you vote is you put a cross. And that, you put a cross in the box. And now people are being told that when you put a cross in a box, that means you don't want that. Because our education system uses crosses for wrong and ticks for right. So people are being informed that put a cross on the candidate you don't want. And of course that's mischievous. Then they put a cross on the candidate they think they are not voting for, but then who happens to be voting for? And if they put a cross on all the candidates they don't want, will that be a valid one or it will be an invalid one?
Ms. Mulenga explains that Zambians are eager to vote, but that violence can be among deterrent factors if not addressed.
It is regional and there's nothing we can do about it. So why go and vote? So there are a lot of things that may keep people away. Violence would be also one of them. We saw that happen in 2016 and it worked very well to a certain extent to keep voters away. So a lot needs to be done, but at the same time, a lot of ground is being set for petitions. And more than a rerun, most ordinary Zambians don't like the petitions where now it's in limbo. They don't know what's going to happen. And so therefore they turn around and say, no, you know what, let's just go with what it is, we are tired. And then
with barely weeks before poll day, things to understand are that voting is an individual choice and it is your voice. If you seek to rejoice, make it count by marking it right. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Patriotic Front member CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI says if God never ordained him among the people that will rule Zambia, others will. Responding to a question on his presidential ambitions, Dr. KAMBWILI believes that leadership comes from God, and if God thinks that he can lead the country one day, so be it. Meanwhile, Mr. KAMBWILI tells Camnet News that there is need to ensure that the mining sector is run by Zambians. He reiterates that there is need to change certain policies in the mining sector that will be favorable enough for Zambians to benefit.
Former opposition leader CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI has claimed that his ambition of one day becoming a leader of this nation still stands at 50-50, as he cannot refuse or accept of having those thoughts. However, he is of the view that if he has never been ordained by God to run this country, others will do so.
I would say yes or no. I am not yet decided because now I find a situation where I've come to believe that leadership comes from God. And if God thinks that I can be, so be it. But if God has never ordained me or picked me as one of the people that can rule Zambia, others will do it.
He clarifies that his focus right now is to ensure that he gathers all the support he can for the Patriotic Front Party in order to ensure that they retain office after 12 August general elections.
It's critical at the moment is to put our heads together and help the PF to make sure that we govern properly. That's my preoccupation, is to make sure that if there are any mistakes that I saw, if there are any new ideas I can bring to the table, then this is the right time to combine with the leadership that is there and move the country forward.
On the 1st of May 2021, former opposition leader of the National Democratic Congress Party, Dr. KAMBWILI, announced his decision of going back to the Patriotic Front Party after leaving his own party on account that he wanted to campaign for President Lungu. Meanwhile, Dr. KAMBWILI says there's need to ensure that the mining business is in the hands of Zambians, adding that certain policies in the sector need to change to become favorable enough for Zambians to benefit.
The way to go from now in terms of the mining business is to make sure that the mining business is in the hands of Zambians. If we need to raise about $1 billion to run Mopani, all we need to do is that government must, like they've gotten the full shares from Mopani, they should float those shares to the stock exchange so that the Zambian people can buy the shares. For instance, you target 5 million Zambians to buy shares in Mopani, and you just say each Zambian pay about 1,000 kwacha. How much are we going to raise? Who raise enough money to run the mining companies? And the mining companies will be in the hands of the Zambians. Yes, we need a direct foreign investment, but we should not give them 90% shares, 100% shares. No, for the natural resources like mining. What we need is to give them maybe 50%, and the other 50%, maybe 20% goes to government, and 30% of the shares are floated on the Lusaka Stock Exchange in order to raise capital to run the mining company. That is the way forward. And then this issue of less dollars on the market will be a thing of the past, because...
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Foundation for Democratic Process, FODEP, has urged civil society organizations to aggressively advocate for the enactment of the Access to Information Bill post-August 12, 2021 general elections. FODEP Executive Director George Chimembe points out that access to information is one of the fundamental elements of democracy. Mr. Chimembe says currently there is no legislation compelling politicians or other officials to avail information to the public, thereby compromising transparency and accountability. He says the bill will not only benefit the media, but also civil society and other interest groups.
It's the cornerstone of accountability, you know. We talk about transparency and accountability. Transparency means that we have access, open access to what is obtaining, for instance, in government. And it's because we have unfettered access to, information through this transparent mechanism that we are able to receive this information and in turn hold government accountable. Without that, then nothing let's not even talk about transparency and accountability. And it is important because access to information, anchors this element of transparency and accountability. And we know that in society, citizens must participate, in the governance of the nation. Now, how do you participate in the governance of the nation if you have no information? That's where the problem is. And this is a huge problem in some democracies, including our democracy.
The Drug Enforcement Commission pounces on Patriotic Front self-proclaimed National Commander Innocent Kalimanshhi. This and more after this break. At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, we will make it shine.
Mwanga Nkumbula International Airport, located just 15 kilometers from the Victoria Falls, is now one of the best and busiest airports that Zambia has. Vote for Edgar Chagwa and the PF that have brought you change.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying on. The Drug Enforcement Commission has arrested self-proclaimed Patriotic Front National Commander Innocent Kalimanshhi for being in possession of high-grade cannabis in a motor vehicle he was driving. DEC Director General Musonda Simwai says the commission received information indicating that in Lusaka compounds such as Chilenje, Chawama, Chivolia, Livala, Matero and Lilanda regarding illegal activities. He says in Counter Square, a number of groups were identified abusing drugs and attacking innocent citizens, especially during the night. Hence, the Commission carrying out operations in these areas. Mr. Simwai says on Thursday, 22nd July 2021, the Commission picked up 3 suspects in Chilenje who were found with cannabis. On the same day, 8 people were picked in Chawama, were found with offensive weapons and 141 grams of cannabis. The Director General said this on Thursday. On the 23rd of July 2021, 26 people in Chawama were also found with offensive weapons and 28 bowls of cannabis. Details in this report.
Risen to stardom over the past few years, many have known him for his degrading remarks towards former Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo, a case that is still pending in the courts of law, and his famous meme videos, Ivory. Self-proclaimed Patriotic Front Commander Innocent Kalimanshhi has been arrested for being in possession of high-grade cannabis by the Drug Enforcement Commission DEC. Mr. Kalimanshhi was apprehended during an operation in Chawama where he concealed the high-grade cannabis in an unregistered Nissan Fairlady Z adorned with his signature American flag on the rearview mirror. A vehicle seized by the DEC. What's interesting to note is that the vehicle's road task disc displayed says the car is silver, yet it is visible for all to see that the car is indeed apple green in color. These revelations came to light during a press briefing held by the DEC Director General, Mr. Musonda Simwai, who further revealed that on Thursday, the 22nd of July 2021, the Commission picked up 3 other suspects in Chilenje who were found with cannabis on the same day, and 8 people were picked in Chawama who were found with offensive weapons and 141 grams of cannabis. The DG said on the 23rd of July 2021, 26 people were further arrested in Chawama, were also found with offensive weapons and 28 bowls of cannabis.
Investigations have revealed that this group was among the notorious groups that have been terrorizing members of the public by mounting illegal roadblocks in which they search vehicles and harass motorists, members of the public, as well as those that are carrying out different commercial activities. Sometimes they would go into markets and begin terrorizing marketeers. As a commission, we shall not relent in our effort to enforce the law effectively and efficiently. And anyone who is found on the other side of the law, regardless of status in society, ladies and gentlemen, the law is blind.
The DEC-DG, Mr. Simwai, says the premises where innocent Kalimanshi and others carry out their illegal activities in Chawama have equally been seized and will remain closed until further notice.
And we are not ruling out other charges, including trafficking. And given the speed with which my officers on the ground have moved, we envisage to have them appear in court on Monday. In the meantime, they will remain in custody.
All these arrests were made after the Commission received information indicating that in Lusaka compounds such as Chilenje, Chawama, Chibolya, Lilai, Matero, Lilanda and Kaunda Square, a number of groups were identified abusing drugs and attacking innocent citizens, especially during the night, hence the Commission carrying out operations in the compounds.
And this is why we are saying that when you have found yourself hooked onto these drugs, please don't be shy. Come, let us reason together and find lasting solutions.
Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Inspector General of Police Kakoma Kanganja is disappointed that some politicians are still embracing the route of violence even after signing peace accords committing themselves to conduct peaceful political activities. Mr. Kanganja says just recently they recorded cases of violence in areas such as Nangoma and Chisamba of Central Province, as well as Ikelengi of Northwestern Province, where some political party cadres have left a trail of destruction during and after their political activities. Mr. Kanganja regrets that UPND cadres are reported to have attacked 4 women who they assaulted and robbed some shop owners of their money and properties. The Inspector General implores politicians to conduct their activities within the confines of the law, or else they may find themselves behind bars during the time of elections.
UPND cadres are reported to have attacked 4 women who they assaulted and robbed some shop owners of their money and properties. All this is pure thuggery and should not be left to continue. We have time and again advised politicians to stop eulogizing criminals in the name of politics, but it seems the advice has been falling on hard rock. I'm once again directing all police commanders in all provinces, including those in operations deployed to police elections, to be firm and ensure that all this public misconduct is brought to a halt, especially during this period when we are approaching the poll day. No one should watch violence being perpetrated under their watch without any action being taken. All officers have been given policing equipment to be used to quell any public misconduct and a legal framework within which to operate. Hence, political cadres should not be allowed to carry their day in abrogating the law.
In a related development, a group calling itself Operation Save Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD, has called on political parties to respect the peace accord which they have signed. Group Treasurer Geoffrey Mulenga says it is important that peace is guaranteed before, during and after the elections.
We are calling for peaceful campaigns, especially that the PF and UPND actually signed the peace accord. So we are expecting our colleagues to stick to and show leadership. What is important in leadership is to condemn. But President Lungu on many occasions has been condemning violence and has been condemning that act. Even yesterday he was condemning that act. So we expect even that from the opposition leadership like President Akainde. Because this is just between the Patriotic Front and the UPND. It's not, we cannot run away from the fact. That's the fact. So we expect President Hakainde to condemn, in the strongest terms it deserves, to say leadership must be seen to be a leader. Once you say, because your followers will definitely understand. But if you are not the oath to be called a leader, your followers are not going to understand you.
In other news, the cultural expert at the University of Zambia has urged citizens not to forget who they are when it comes to customs and traditions. In an exclusive interview with Camnet News, a cultural expert, Gankanani Moyo, who is saddened that Western culture is dominating the country. Mr. Moyo has further stated that culture is something that people must enjoy, especially children, adding that parents should take an interest in teaching them about the local culture. Details in this report.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. A famous scripture from the book of Proverbs 22:6. It is not so for so many African countries, as most of the children have forgotten or have no complete knowledge about the African traditions and customs. Many children are adapting to the Western culture with the coming of technology, as they are exposed to different content on mainstream media and social media. University of Zambia cultural expert Ngakanani Moyo has attributed the problem to poor parenting, saying children are not being taught about local cultural values.
And we are telling our children today that it is better to be an American, it is better to be European than to be an African. That's what we are telling them. But what we are forgetting is that if you want to enjoy being an American, be in America. If you want to enjoy being a European, be in Europe. If you want to enjoy being an African, be in Africa, because it is only in Africa that you can be an African and enjoy it, because it is this cultural space, this space that you occupy, that make this space be what it is. I have argued many times that every cultural space has everything that you need to develop as a people. It has the philosophy, the belief systems of the people to say this is what we are. It has the medicines, it has the food, it has the architecture, it has everything. Okay, think of a time before we interacted with other people. What did we have? We had everything, and our lives moved on continuously.
Mr. Moyo explains that it is important for children to know and enjoy their culture.
So yes, we have to borrow something from others, that which we think is going to make our lives better. But we should not be made to think that what we have is primitive and what they have is civilized. I think that is very shallow. That is a very uncivilized way of thinking. So if someone comes to you and tells you that you are, they are civilized and you are not, it shows you just how uncivilized they are, because they are unable to appreciate, this, cultural diversity that is there.
At the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to a child's success is the positive involvement of parents. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Ministry of Health has, in the last 24 hours, administered 4,263 dose 1 and 3,962 dose 2 AstraZeneca vaccinations, as well as 3,333 dose of Johnson's & Johnson's. Disclosing this to the media in a statement, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Technical Services Dr. Kennedy Malama says the cumulative number of vaccinations to date now stands at 259,000 dose 1 vaccinations. Dr. Malama has also stated that these vaccinations are free of charge and that no one should ask for any payment nor any form of cost sharing. Meanwhile, the country has in the last 24 hours recorded 912 COVID-19 confirmed cases and 29 new related COVID-19 deaths. You're watching Camnet News. We take another set of commercials. Join me shortly for international and sports news.
On August 12th, we have a choice to make. Perhaps the most important choice in our country's history. One option is to stick with this government and keep things how they are. But after 10 years, we all know what this will mean. More unemployment, more empty plates, more empty pockets. But yet, alternatively, we can embrace change. Change that will create jobs, reduce prices, and more importantly, put food on our tables. Change that will restore hope and move Zambia forward. Sometimes, politics can feel complicated, but this choice could not be clearer. Change for a better life, or 5 more years like the last 10. On August 12th, the choice is yours. The future of your family, the future of our country is in your hands.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth, there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Savenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Savenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Savenda Electronics, the real deal.
Good day to you, our dear esteemed customers. As Zamtel, we're glad to bring something of excitement to you, and it's a promotion we've dubbed Yatu, which simply means it's yours. And in this promotion, we're giving benefits that are tailored to you specifically as a customer, depending on the profile or the segment that you're sitting on as a customer. And in this promotion, we are saying you will get from as low as 13 ngwe benefits amounting to over 500%, and it's all for you so that you get more benefits. So to know more about Yatu, stay on.
Yatu is a promotion that offers Zamtel customers amazing benefits that are made just for you. Zamtel customers will get amazing benefits of over 500% bonus back the value that they use when they subscribe to a Yatu offer. Yatu benefits will be usable for Zamtel to Zamtel calls, Zamtel to Zamtel SMSs, and browsing on pay-as-you-go defined rates. For you to access the amazing Yatu offers, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 1 to purchase the offer that best suits you. Zamtel customers will have the ability to actually purchase the Yatu benefit more than once. So this means you can purchase the offer twice, you can purchase the offer 3 times, and the benefits will be accumulative at the end of the day. Yatu benefits will be able to be redeemed if you subscribe to the same offer within a 5-day period. So if you have unused benefits from the previous day and the expiry date comes, you can still subscribe to the same offer within 5 days and your benefits will be able to accumulate. How amazing is that? For you to check your Yatu benefit balance, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 2 and you'll be able to see your current balance.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching Camnet News. Thank you for staying on. In international news, human rights campaigns have held a historic decision by Sierra Leone's parliament to anonymously vote to abolish the death penalty more than 20 years after the West African country carried out its last execution. Following Friday's vote, President Julius Maada Bio is expected to soon sign the bill into law, which will make Sierra Leone the 23rd African country to repeal capital punishment. In other news, the Mali's junta survived a stabbing attempt during Eid al-Adha prayers in Bamako on Tuesday. The attacker missed him and wouldn't his guard instead. Here's a roundup of international stories.
Sierra Leone's parliament on Friday voted to abolish the death penalty, becoming the latest African country to move toward banning capital punishment. The death penalty will be replaced with life imprisonment or a minimum 30-year jail term for crimes such as murder or mutiny. A majority of lawmakers voted in favor of an amendment banning the death penalty. President Julius Maada Bio must sign off on the bill before it becomes law.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye. 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 All against, say nay. The ayes have it.
In May, Deputy Justice Minister Umaru Koroma announced that the government would move to ban the death penalty. No execution has taken place in the country since 1998, and death sentences have often been commuted. The vote in Sierra Leone comes as the use of capital punishment has been falling across the African continent, and more countries have been outlawing the practice.
This is what is going to happen.
Malian investigators are treating the attempted stabbing attack on the head of the country's ruling junta, Colonel Assimi Goita, as a terrorist act, French broadcaster RFI reported on Saturday. A source told RFI that the suspect was trained to handle weapons and that he was not acting alone. Goita was attacked during Eid el-Adha prayers at the Grand Mosque in Bamako on Tuesday. The attacker missed him and wounded his guard instead. Goita was immediately evacuated from the scene to the Kati military base near Bamako. He later told State TV that he was doing very well. Goita dismissed the knife attack as an isolated incident. Goita was sworn in as Mali's interim president after launching a coup against another transitional government in which he served as vice president. He has vowed to stick to the old transition schedule, which prescribes a return to civilian rule next February.
As our latest case numbers put Melbourne on track to get out of lockdown, thousands have defied health orders to mount a violent protest in the city. Flares were thrown in an ugly demonstration the Health Minister says risks the sacrifice made by those doing the right thing.
Thousands of anti-lockdown, anti-vaccination protesters bombarded city streets. The so-called Freedom Rally, part of a global protest, and it quickly spiralled out of control. Unmasked and furious, they lit flares, throwing one at mounted police, venting their frustration at the state's lockdown.
No more lockdown! I want a choice, and I want the choice to be mine, and I don't want to be blackmailed. No more lockdown!
Demonstrators were hauled away in handcuffs, police storming Flinders Street Station. Others attacked the media.
Get the f*** out! You are going to hell, just wait and see. Fake news! Fake news!
Throwing water and spitting on reporters.
Go get some more Botox!
Police were well prepared and out in force, ripping troublemakers through police lines.
Do you have a heart to feel for everybody? Do you have a brain to think with?
COVID safety laws violated, infection risks ignored. The Health Minister called the protest
ratbaggery,
warning
it places at risk the work we have all done.
Little concern to the protesters.
People should have their freedom. That's our human right, to have freedom.
Protesters are getting louder and angrier. Right now they're on their way to Parliament. And they say that they're demanding the government listen to them.
This is the first protest that I've been to, and I'm living in fear that it's going to be a requirement that my young children get a trial vaccine to receive an education.
After 3.5 hours of screaming and marching through the city, police used pepper spray, shutting it down, making a number of arrests as the angry mob finally dispersed.
Why are you here today?
To try and stop our freedom's been taken.
Georgia Comensoli.
Well, that's it for international news. We now look at sports news. The Copper Queens played to a 4-0 draw against China in their second game in the ongoing Olympics Women Football football being hosted in Japan. In the previous encounter, Zambia lost by 10 goals to 3 against Netherlands. Barbara Banda got her second hat trick. Blessings Chakwira now has the details on this story.
Following the game, the Copper Queens had lost to Netherlands by 10 goals to 3. The women national team on the 24th of July 2021 played 4-0 draw in a match played against China in the ongoing Football Olympic Games. Zambia have run headlong into a war of challenges since their memorable qualification in March 2020, and the fact that they have played only one friendly since can be blamed on the vast obstacle presented by the ongoing coronavirus. Barbara Banda again scored a hat-trick for Zambia, and Kundananji scoring in the 15th minute. Wang, on the other hand, had managed to score all the goals for her country. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
With that exciting note ends our news this evening. The headlines once again. The Drug Enforcement Commission pounces on the Patriotic Front self-proclaimed National Commander Innocent KALIMANSHI. CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI leaves presidential ambitions in God's hands. Patriotic Front and the UPND cosmetic approach to peace annoys Police Chief KAKOMA KANGANJA. In international news, Sierra Leone Parliament approves bill to ban death penalty. In sports news, Copper Queens secure 1 point in the ongoing Olympic Games. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from the book of Romans 10, verse 16 to 17, and it reads, "But all did not obey the gospel, for Isaiah says, Lord, who has believed our message? So faith comes from what is heard, and what is heard comes from the message about Christ." That's all we had for you on the desk this evening. Thank you so much for choosing us. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. Remember to observe the COVID-19 health measures and stop the spread of the virus. Good night. Thanks for watching.